Today's video is a really important video. This is the allocation litter for the Labradoodle puppies from our Noel Kiss litter at Van Isle Labradoodles. Hi, I'm Claire, and today is the day that we're going to let all of our families on our reservation list know which puppy has chosen them to be their forever family. And we're going to do things in the birth order of the puppies, which is how we've done things every week. So we'll stick with that plan. So our first little lady here is our beautiful green collar girl. Green collar is our beautiful black phantom girl. And she is off to live in Kitsilano, which is right near Vancouver. And she is going to be living with Joanna. So Joanna had asked us for a little puppy who would enjoy going for walks around the Kitsilano area and also enjoy going up to Whistler on a regular basis. Yes, going to Whistler and going on car trips around British Columbia fairly regularly as well. They were looking for a puppy who was a calm, affectionate, and a little bit of a quieter, lower energy type of puppy. They needed one that was going to be adaptable for new places and new people because of their traveling that they like to do, and also one that would be quite content on their own while they're skiing up in Whistler. So Green Collar Girl is just the best fit for all of those boxes. She ticks everything without any problem. This is a cuddle bug who gives us lots of kisses and lots of affection. She's an outgoing girl and confident, and nothing bothers her. She's very, very content to meet new people, try new things, and nothing phases her. She just takes it all in stride. She definitely has that trademark Labradoodle adaptability that we all enjoy. And Green Collar Girl is also very comfortable traveling in the car, aren't you? Yes, that's something that she quite enjoys, and she has no problem with going in the car. And because of her nature, she's also well able to be independent enough to entertain herself and not always need to be constantly with other people around her. So when Joanna is up skiing in Whistler, she'll be perfectly fine at home on her own with something to play with and chew on and occupy herself with for a few hours. So that's our beautiful black phantom Labradoodle puppy off to Kitsilano to live with Joanna. Here you go, beautiful. Next we have our really sweet little red collar girl. And red collar girl is also a black phantom, just like green, except for she has some white on her, and she's also a bit smaller. Now, red collar girl is also off to Vancouver, but not to Vancouver, British Columbia. She's going to Vancouver, Washington. She is the puppy that was picked by a breeder friend of ours who is located in Vancouver, Washington. So the reason why this little lady was chosen was partly because of her size. The breeder wanted a smaller puppy. She has great structure, and her temperament is really quite outstanding. She is a lively girl with a great big personality, even though she's the smallest puppy in the litter. And at our wellness exam that we went to yesterday, she was able to tick all the boxes in terms of having a great bite, a perfect heart, good patellas, and she's already been all the ways up to Courtney to see the canine ophthalmologist, have her eyes checked, and we know that her eyes are all clear. So she's already a long ways towards success as a breeding prospect. And what we'll do next, before the decision is final, is just next week when she turns 8 weeks, we'll just do a final check on her structure and make sure that everything is perfect. So that's our cute little red collar girl, off most likely to Vancouver, Washington. Here we go, sweetie. There we go. Next we have light blue collar boy. Light blue collar boy is going to go to Vancouver, but this time he's going to Vancouver, British Columbia. And he is going to go to Justine and Rob and Lucia. So this little fellow, what they were looking for was a puppy who would love to go walking with them in the nearby parks and right around the endowment area, and also in the future enjoy accompanying them on running expeditions. They wanted a puppy who was very calm but still had plenty of personality, and one who was very clever and was be a BFF for Lucia. Well, Mr. Light Blue Collar Boy here, who is this beautiful brown with all these lovely white markings, he just fits the bill perfectly for those needs. He's Mr. Affection. He just loves to cuddle and snuggle. And in the mornings or at any time when all the other puppies rush outside, as soon as we open the door for them to go outside, he always waits and he gets a little bit of a pet and gives us a little kiss, and then he goes outside. So that affection level is really high with him. And you can tell the way he snuggled up to me how much he enjoys being cuddled and being affectionate. He is just waiting for someone to shower his love on, and growing up together with Lucia is going to be his dream come true, and we're sure for Lucia it will be as well. And he will be fine on his own for short periods of time while the parents are working and Lucia is at school. He's a fairly independent boy, and he's able to entertain himself and keep himself occupied with things without getting into trouble. He's a really adaptable boy, so it won't matter to him what anybody wants to do. He'll be up for it, and he is just going to be a great addition to the family. So that is Light Blue Collar Boy off to Vancouver, BC. There you go, buddy. Next is our little Orange Collar Girl. Orange Collar Girl is our little chocolate phantom with all the white markings. And this is our keeper for Isle Doodles as a breeding prospect. Now this little lady is going to live with a guardian home in Victoria who have 3 children, and they have 1 dog. And both of the parents in this family are police officers. So this little lady is going to be spending some time at the police station. Now the kids in the family thought that a really good name for this puppy was Evie, because the puppies were born on the eve of Christmas Eve. And we just think that's a great name, and it suits her perfectly. We really like the name. We had named her something else, but we think Evie is a great choice. So we are going to go with the name Evie and keep that, because I think that's just adorable for her. And I really do think it suits her. Now, as I said, Evie is going to be spending some time at the police station, and her role there is going to be just to be a little bit of a calming and comforting presence. As we all know, police work is a very stressful position to have, and many times officers, after they have been involved in a particularly traumatic situation, they may have a little bit of extra stress, anxiety, or even PTSD. So Evie's role will be there to be comforting to them. And she is a very intuitive girl. She has the ability to understand when people need her to be lively and fun and playful, and when they need her just to be quiet and cuddly, as she's being right now. She's a very affectionate dog. She has a lovely nature, but she's also quite playful. And we know she is going to really enjoy making friends with her new doggy friend that she's going to be living with, who's an English Lab. So that's our beautiful Evie, our keeper for Isle Doodles, and going to live in a Victoria guardian home. There you go, my little Princess Evie. Next we have Dark Blue Collar Boy. This is our Red Caramel Boy. Hi, buddy. And this little guy is going to be going to the Duke family in Victoria. And the Duke family were looking for a good friend for their daughters, Elisa and Kira, to grow up with. A puppy who was a cuddler, who would enjoy walks, who would be friendly, easygoing, loves children, and is a very social dog. Well, Mr. Dark Blue is all of those things. He is really amazing with children. He's just great. When we have our puppy socializers come, he has always been stellar with the kids. He's very affectionate, always seeking out some cuddles, and he is the definition of the easygoing puppy. He fits in anywhere. New situations don't bother him at all. As long as somebody loves him, he's happy. And his favorite thing is to be going right upside down in your arms like this and getting a tummy rub. He will just sit for hours and hours if you hold him just like a baby and rub his tummy. He thinks that's the most fun thing in the world. So that's our Dark Blue Collar Boy off to the Duke family in Victoria. There we go, buddy. And next we have Yellow Collar Boy. Oh, hi, are you tired? You're lying down. Yellow Collar Boy is our very handsome black and white phantom with all these gorgeous white markings on him. This boy is headed off to Chicago, Illinois, and he is going to be a prospective stud dog for another one of our breeder friends in Chicago. Now, the reason this fellow was picked as a stud prospect was partly because of his incredibly good looks, but he also is really a good match for the breed standard in terms of his conformation and his temperament. This guy has all the qualities that I look for in a stud dog prospect for myself. I want to see a dog that gets along with people and is adaptable and has all those genuine Labradoodle characteristics that we all enjoy so much. But I also look for a stud dog boy to get along well with other dogs and to be tolerant, understanding, and appreciative of other dogs. Because when stud dogs go to work, they have to deal with females who are in a fairly fragile emotional state, and they can be moody. So you need a boy who understands and appreciates that and can be offer them a little bit of gentle kindness, and also has the confidence so that when the female tends to reject them, as they often do, they'll growl and snap at them, that it won't make him lose his desire to do his job or be intimidated. And we think Mr. Yellow Collar has all those qualities in spades, and he's also just the sweetest little guy, and of course gorgeous to look at. So that's Mr. Yellow Collar, a boy rather, off to Chicago, Illinois to be a stud dog prospect. Here you go, sweetheart. And last but not least, I'm sure everyone has figured out where Miss Purple Collar is going, and that's to Allison, Clint, and Ayla in Victoria. Now, Allison and Clint and Ayla were looking for a puppy that was going to complete their family and be a BFF to grow up together with Ayla, who's 5. They needed a puppy who was confident and relaxed, a lower energy puppy, a snuggler, and one who would enjoy going on walks, having lots of kids around, and also spending some time with their part-time dog named Bex. And this little sweetheart, well, she is the definition of sweet. Everyone who meets Purple Collar walks away and the first adjective they have for her is sweet. Darling, adorable, sweet, and gentle. She is very gentle, which is great when you have a child who's just 5, so that they can work together well. But she's sturdy enough and she's confident enough that she's not going to be overwhelmed by a 5-year-old. She'll be able to hold her own and indicate when she needs to have a timeout. This little playful imp adores children. This whole litter was very, very child focused. Really, really strong responses to children from each of the puppies, more so than most of our litters. But this little one definitely hits the top of the list for that quality. And all she ever asks for is to be cuddled, 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 cuddled. Please pick me up and cuddle me. Please just cuddle me. Please pet me. That's her whole life. That's where all of her happiness comes from. She's a quiet girl, she's lower energy, she's very sensitive, so she'll be easily in tune with people's feelings, and she's very easygoing. Nothing really bothers her too particularly, and she is going to love growing up as Ayla's BFF. So that's all our puppies from the Noel Kiss litter of Australian Labradoodle puppies. We hope everybody's really happy with their selections and that the puppies who have chosen them for their forever families. And we look forward to seeing you soon on the 22nd when it will be Puppy Pickup Day.